Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the RMU Rec Center. We've got a men's club volleyball tri-match for you today. The Robert Morris University Colonials against the Carnegie Mellon Tartans and the Washington and Jefferson Presidents, who will be appearing here shortly. Right now, we're getting ready for what looks like the national anthem before today's game. I'm going to be your play-by-play today, Alexander Gagnon. Alongside me, my friend Jordan Wirtz. Jordan, how you doing today?
I'm doing good now that I got some game fuel in me, so.
So we'll let Tucci do the intro announcements here on the court for the national anthem, and we will be rejoining you shortly after that.
Number 15, the captain, Cameron Courtney. Number 2, number 7, Nick Salone. Number 1, Michael Gazdick. Number 8, William Kokenauer. And I am not entirely sure who is in the front in the camo.
Oh, that'll make two of us there, Jordan. I am also not entirely sure who that is. Looks like we have had our minor audio issue resolved, and we're ready to go here for game number 1, RMU versus CMU. Cameron Courtney goes to serve it in, catches the top of the net. Not the start you want to see for the Colonials, as CMU takes a 1-0 lead. Looks like it's going to be Karmakar serving it in here for the Tartans. There's the serve. Gets over clearly. Koschenauer feeds it over the handwork, and he's blocked at the line, but that ball out of play. Point RMU. Once again, tie game.
Handwork already showing off here, putting it in a difficult situation for the Tartans, and all they were able to do was get it back over, but out of bounds. Give RMU their first point in this game. Very early game.
Handwork now to serve it in for the Colonials. Tie game 1-1. Serves up and over. Not handled cleanly by Eric Jenny, but it's saved, and the Tartans almost get it over. A nice play there from Jonathan Chen, the libero, to try and get that ball back into play, but just wide.
Yeah, some great early work there. Getting their running legs going here nice and early in the morning.
Handwork serves it in once again. Put over and hit home there by that's number 22, Jack Troy, but it's returned by the Colonials. A little tap over from Koschenauer, and now we've got a real volley going as Gazdick digs that one out. Koschenauer again gets it to go. That was our first real volley there, Jordan, and I gotta say, William Koschenauer looked pretty sharp.
Yeah, nice work there. About halfway back on his side and able to get it over right into the flurry of hands of CMU players.
Handwork once again to serve it in for the Colonials. Met at the line. Courtney up to Salone. Returned by the Tartans there. Karmakar. That's hit over by number 6. That's Robert Wetton. Courtney sets up handwork. Oh, now we're saying it's in. Good play. Yeah. I honestly thought that was out.
Yeah, I thought it was out there. It must have just got the line there on Handwork's send back.
It's going to be 4-1 now, RMU. 4 straight points.
Yeah, they gave up the first point there to open it up off of the bad serve, but it's been all RMU since then.
Oh, and Handwork just rifled that one into the net.
Oh.
So as soon as we talked about the run, it ends.
I will never be mentioning that beginning serve again.
Here comes the serve for the Tartans. That looks like Eric Jenny who hits it over. Handwork goes to play it, doesn't get it cleanly. Gazdick back to Handwork, who just can't clear the net. You know, it's looks like it's been a little bit of a hit and miss performance so far for Gage Handwork in the early going. Eric Jenny now looking to serve a potential tying point for CMU. Digged out by Handwork. Courtney over the Koschenauer. Oh, and it gets over. Clayton Edwards thought he had the block, and instead it just trickles behind the net.
Yeah, Edwards got the block there and thought it was over and just lost sight of it, and next thing you know, it's right down at his feet.
It'll be Michael Dazdick, the libero for RMU, serving this one up and over. Dug out by Chen. Oh, nice play by Salone. Courtney Caution out. Oh, a big-time block there. Jack Troy and Clayton Edwards combined. Met him at the net mouth. Tie game 4-4. Jonathan Chen now. Serve is up and over. Handwork to Courtney. Back to Handwork, who gets it over. That's Wetton. Back to Wetton. Oh, and it's blocked at the line. That's going to be a combination of Salone and Sidorsky. Just as we saw a beautiful block on the CMU side, RMU answers with one of their own.
Yeah, nice job drawing them up to the front there, and they just sent it just perfectly behind them. None of them even get close to it.
Now RMU with the serve. Hits it up and over. Karmakar sets up Troy, and there was just a void there. Miscommunication on the Colonials defense, I'd say.
Yeah, they left that center wide open, and I think everybody thought, well, the other guy's going to come get it. And
then no one did.
Yeah, nobody did. RMU's
So,
still with the lead, though, 6-5.
Yep, and here comes Takahara to serve. Courtney over the Sidorsky, and that's going to be a point for RMU. Just simply went up and put that one down. It's going to be caution hour now with the serve. Nice little back and forth action here to start game one.
Yeah.
Karmakar over the Wetton. Dug out. Courtney up to, oh, they're saying Courtney got a bit of a handful on it.
They're going to say it was a double Dutch.
Brutal. Robert Wetton to serve. Up. Dug out. Oh, and Sidorsky tried punting it up. Didn't quite work, but, you know, the Tartans here on a little bit of a run now, Jordan.
Yeah, tied things up here.
First tie game, I think, since 4-4.
Yeah.
And that one clear out the back. So what I've noticed is the 3 times we've talked about someone either about to serve the start of a game or is serving well, immediately they have a serving fault on the next hit.
The volleyball gods have given us some power today, Alex.
Oh, cheeky
man.
little play from Handwork. Didn't even bother to pass it around. He saw the gap in the CMU defense and just
Yeah,
dinked it in.
they were still trying to set up for the play. They didn't even I don't think they even thought it was going to go over, and Handwork just sent it back down.
Sidorsky with the serve. Man, he's got a really nice serve. Karmakar. Oh, man. Wetton went up for the spike. It got blocked at the line. I think it was Cameron Courtney, and CMU with no answer to bring it back.
Yeah, we're starting to see it from both teams today. Whenever they go for the block, and whoever's setting up the block usually ends up on the positive side today.
Yeah, so far, Sidorsky goes to serve it in and hits it into the net. Man, it's again. I did it again. I talked about how he had a really nice serving form and then into the net. All right, I'm done talking about serving form for the rest of game one here.
I wasn't going to mention it, but you said it anyways.
And that's Legrande with, I think that's basically the ace, you know. Couldn't even get the serve up and over. Got that one real low over the net. And now, CMU will be looking to get on a bit of a run here, as Kevin Legrand will take the serve once again. Caution hour. The Courtney pops it up. RMU can't quite get it across. Both teams have reached double digits.
Yeah, we're both tied at 10 once again. Nice little back and forth we got going on here.
Popped up. Courtney. The handwork. Oh, and he's blocked at the line. A powerful block there from Clayton Edwards. He's had a couple of them already.
Yeah, I think he might be the one to watch here for these blocks. There ain't much getting past him when he sets it up there.
That's going to be block number 2 of this one for Clayton Edwards. And CMU, I believe, has taken their first lead since the 1-0 mark.
I believe you are correct.
They feed it over the handwork again, and this time Gage Handwork says, oh, you might have blocked my last one, but this time I'm just going to go through you.
Yeah, you know, that one had some power on it. The hairband came flying off for that one.
It's a power limiter. Cameron Courtney in to serve here for the Colonials. One of the senior captains. Courtney hits it over. Carmakar tried hitting it over on surprise, but Courtney was ready for it. Gazdick over to Salone, can't quite get it over. I can't tell if that was a block or just a hit the top of the net.
I think that may have been a block.
Well, if it was, that would have been block number 3 for Clayton Edwards. Sanmoy Carmakar now to serve for CMU. And that one just cleared the net. Tough to react to those ones when, you know, it's going at 30 miles an hour and then it goes 2 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's not really any way to calculate where it's going to go once it tips on that net.
CMU now with the serve. Dug out by Gazdick. Courtney pops it up. Salone can't quite get it to go, but it was blocked, and handwork gets it to go on the second attempt. I honestly think if CMU didn't go for the block on the first one, it would have been their point. Because I'm not convinced Salone would have got that ball over the net on try number 1.
Yeah.
But alas, it'll be handwork to serve here for the Colonials, down a point. Shen, the Carmakar, the Jenny, blocked at the line but popped up. CMU keeping it in over the Jack Troy, who puts it over. Handwork over the Courtney. Caution hour, and that's going to be a Colonials point. Tie game 13-13.
Tied up at the lucky number.
Both teams have crossed the midway threshold to the points to gain here in game number 1. Handwork with the serve. Popped up for CMU, and Clayton Edwards tried hitting him with a changeup. Didn't fool anyone. As that ball up on Courtney, the handwork to Salone, and he gets it to go. Eric Jenny nearly dug that one out. But, you know, Jonathan Chen probably would have needed to be about 2 feet tall to have an opportunity to pop that one up.
Yeah, perfect little spike there, right at his piggies.
Jonathan Chen popped it up, and I think Jack Troy thought his teammate was going to grab it or something, because that ball he was the only one near it, and he kind of lets it go by the wayside.
Yeah, I think he thought Wetton was going to come in there and get the save on it.
Another point for RMU there. Been a little bit of miscommunication here on the CMU side of things these past couple plays. And there's going to be a timeout for the Tartans. RMU with a 3-point lead, I believe 4 or 5 of which on that run right there. And I think that's probably a really needed timeout for CMU.
Yeah, they were up 13-12, and RMU's picked up 4 quick points on them here and given themselves a little bit of a cushion to work with here as they are slowly nearing 21 here to take away the win.
I think it's 25.
It is 25. I'm thinking of cornhole.
You know, the same
21.
sport.
Not even the same thing.
No.
Bags and volleyballs.
Well, you know, when you want to play cornhole, it's the only thing you can think about, I guess.
I do love cornhole.
It's a fun game. Handwork with the serve now off the timeout. Edwards pops it up to Troy, who gets it over. Dug out by Handwork to Courtney. Caution hour hits it over. Carmakar over the Troy. Handwork again to pop it up. Courtney back to Handwork. Oh, and he spiked that one right into the net. Point for CMU. I'm not sure. We had a few fans just relocate, and I wonder if it's because they didn't want commentary with their volleyball today. I'm not sure. It might also be because it's cold. There is a bit of a draft in here today.
Yeah.
They've got the AC cranked in here today, and that's probably a good thing, especially for the guys playing. Anyway, CMU hits it over. Gazdick to Courtney, and that spike attempt from our camo-shirted mystery man off into Ohio.
Yeah, and that'll tie things up here as well. 16 all.
Eric Jenny to serve for Carnegie Mellon. Serve is up. Gazdick. Caution hour just pops it up, and the referee swats it away and says points CMU. I guess he didn't want to be involved in the play.
No, he did not want to take a hit there. Get that thing out of here and just send it back over to CMU.
Eric Jenny with the serve. Gazdick pops it up to Courtney, who just sends it over himself. Here comes a spike attempt from Troy. Just ran the line of the net. That thing looked like it was doing a little Tony Hawk board grind action and then fell off just on the other side of the net.
Yeah, pulling off a double flip ollie 360.
Returned by Koschenauer. Almost surprised CMU, but Chen was ready as the spike there from Robert Wetton just went into next week. And now it's going to be a timeout for RMU, and I think that's a needed one as CMU had just gone on a 6-point run.
Yeah, that timeout was well used by CMU.
We'll see if RMU can do their timeout to the same level of effectiveness. They're probably going to need it to, because if they let this continue too much longer, they're going to be out of time here in game 1.
Yeah, they really hit RMU with the Uno reverse card here, and they said, oh, you got a 3-point lead, and after this timeout, I think we'll take that right back. And 19-16 here.
I'm not sure what that was.
They were saying Tartans.
Oh, was it Tartans?
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to hear with the headset on. Anyways, Eric Jenny coming out of the timeout here for RMU, still to serve for Carnegie Mellon. Serve is up. Handwork. The Courtney, and that one was just, it was under the net by the time Courtney got there. There's nothing he really could have done about that one.
Yeah.
20-16 your score right now. Tartans lead here in game number 1 of the first match of this tri-match. Each match will be a best of 3, and each team's going to play each other once today. So Gazdick pops it up to Courtney. Koschenauer with a hard spike, but dug out beautifully by Eric Jenny. And Wetton hit the net there on his return volley. So
no, they're going to say an RMU player went into the net.
Oh, they awarded that point same. Okay. 21-16.
This
then.
is a must-win point for RMU if they're going to get themselves back into this.
Agreed. Eric Jenny with the serve. Gazdick. The Courtney. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. One of the RMU players just kind of stood there and watched it. Cameron Courtney tried going around him to pop that ball back up. I wonder if he was the most recent player to touch it.
I think he may have.
Handwork. The Courtney. Over to Koschenauer. Blocked at the line there. That's going to be Jack Troy, number 22 for CMU. And just like that, CMU now leads 23-16. 10-point run for the Tartans.
Yeah, they have been on quite the burner.
RMU to look for a point here. Finally are going to find one as the CMU players don't feel like diving over the scoring table to get a point.
And it's RMU's local Bass Pro Shop sponsor here, picking up that point in his camo.
I was wondering where you were going with that. We gotta see if we can get his name for when they play W&J.
Yeah, well, one of us will go down there and pick that up here in between games.
Oh, wow, what a spike there for CMU. Now 1 point away from a Game 1 victory, 24-17. And we'll see who'll take the potential final serve here for CMU.
Yeah.
Looks like it's going to be Jonathan Chen, the libero. Pops it up. Handwork. To Courtney. Koschenauer gets it over. Dug out by Chen. Legrande, and that'll do it for game number 1. 25-17. CMU takes game 1 after a late game rally. They really turned on the burners after that timeout they took.
Yeah, they scored 12 straight points on RMU after that first time out, and RMU just had no answers. They had it clicking, and there was not much they could do for it.
Yep, so that'll mean we are done with game number 1. We'll be going into game number 2 shortly. We're going to take a brief intermission for some water, and we'll be right back when the players come back.
back for the beginning of game 2 here. CMU picked up the win in the first game, 25-7, after finishing on a 12-point run. As CMU's going to start here with the serve, number 5, Carmakar. And he's going to serve it out, and RMU's going to pick up the first point of this second game.
We'll see if RMU can capitalize on winning the serve back here to start. Gage handwork to take it in for RMU. Dug out by Chen. Hit over by Jenny. Handwork over the Courtney. The caution hour blocked at the line, but popped up again by handwork. Over to Courtney. That's to number 12. I believe that's Zach McCulpin. Quite the volley going back and forth here. Ooh! Man, oh man. Gage handwork got all of that attempt, and by all that I mean it went up over the dividing net here in the rec center.
Yeah, that would have been a highlight moment right there if that would have somehow landed in.
But it is 1-1, and Eric Jenny, the man who was on an absolute heater to end game 1 from the serving stripe, goes up again. Wow, good return there. Oh, just wide from Eric Jenny. So I believe that'll be the first point of the day for Zach McCulpin. We've got him as number 12 on our scoring sheet, and the tape number 12 on the back of the hoodie makes me think that's who that is.
Yeah, and that was a smart move by Courtney there. Great move by CMU to try and save it there, but Courtney smartly letting it just drop right out of bounds to pick up the easy point.
It'll be Michael Gazdick, the libero for RMU to serve. Pops it in. Jenny, the Carmakar. Over the Wetton, and somehow that found its way over. He just like, you know, he hit it with a little 1-inch punch action, and it just kind of floated over the net.
Yeah. Gave it a little love tap there.
Chen to serve for CMU. Hits it onto the net. Right back to RMU's possession of the serve. A couple more substitutions here for RMU. Bit of a fan favorite subbing in now. I'm not entirely sure who it is, though. For the amount of numbers we have on our roster here, Jordan, there's a lot of people down there who don't got a number on.
Yeah.
CMU pops it up. Wetton with the spike and drives it down.
Sent handwork flying on his behind there. Not much you could have done about that.
Yeah, really. 3-3 your score here early in game number 2. For anyone who may have just joined us, CMU did take game number 1 by a score of 25-17 after a late game rally. Here goes Hara. Dug out by Gazdick. Up to Courtney. Oh, and Sidorsky went to go spike, and I think he just hit it right off the top of the net.
Yeah.
So here comes Hara once again for the serve. Pops it up. Courtney. Over to Sidorsky with the changeup. Almost got him. Another changeup. Both of the guys are going for the little taps over the net, but the volley is on as Wetton went for the back corner and just got it off the shoulder of RMU's back corner defender there. And I think he's a little mad at himself because he knows if he just let that by, it would have been out.
Yeah. As they now have a 5-3 lead with Hara continuing to serve here.
Gazdick over the Courtney. Caution hour returned. No, never mind. It looked like it was going to be a fairly routine play, but Jenny kind of put it in a spot that Carmakar had to dive for, and then there was no real way for any CMU player to return it. Hopefully Carmakar is all right. He looks like he's holding his ribs a little bit after diving for that one, but I think he'll be okay. He's still on the floor here. Speaking of which, he sets it up for Wetton. Oh, that was just pretty. Goes up like he was going for the spike once again, and instead hits him with a little Wilt Chamberlain behind the back action and taps it in for the point.
Yeah, and there was nobody there. They tried to make a great slide for it, but not much you can do in that situation.
That was a really hard serve there from Wetton. And Carmakar caught him sleeping. Both Gazdick and Koschenauer went for the dive.
Yeah, for the second point in a row, they caught them. with the middle completely empty and no man's land.
And speaking of Wetton with some of his plays there, he just launched that one at least 15 feet behind the baseline.
Yeah.
That ball didn't even have a chance of coming in clean.
Yeah, one of the few times so far we've seen them over-serve it.
Speaking of our competition here today, it looks like Washington and Jefferson has just found their way inside the building here. They will be playing CMU in our second of 3 matchups today. And that'll be taking place a few minutes after this first game of RMU versus CMU. Score now 8-5. Gazdick gets it over. Popped up. Edwards. Oh, and another tough play there for the Colonials defense. They just can't seem to predict right now whether CMU is going to bring it in with some heat or just try and tap it into a weak corner of the defense.
Yeah, and it's these light taps that are really killing them right now.
Popped up. Courtney. The handwork. Oh, and he hits the same thing with him, but I think they're saying he hit the net. So it's going to be another point for CMU. It'll be Kevin Legrande serving in for the Tartans here. Popped up. Handwork. To Gazdick. Hara. To Karmakar. Gazdick pops it up to Courtney. And they're playing right up at the net mouth right now. No one giving an inch. And Eric Jenny, I would say about 6 inches past the far corner there. He was looking to place it in. Smartly avoided from RMU.
Yeah, and this might be what they need is RMU now gets the captain on the serve. Get themselves back into this as they are down 4 right now.
Jenny with the spike, and Connor can't believe it. He looked shocked at himself that that ball went sideways on him. He was in decent position, but I think he just kind of caught it off his left arm earlier than his right arm, and that ball went right over to our little seating area here.
Yeah, and they've been having trouble with that corner all game. It doesn't matter who they have back there. It just seems like they're just having trouble handling it.
Gazdick to Courtney. And handwork with a powerful spike. You know, there are kills in volleyball, and then there are kills, and that is the latter.
Yeah. He slaughtered that ball there. He said, all right, I'm tired of this nonsense. We are going to clean things up here.
Handwork with the serve, gets it over. Chen pops it up high for Karmakar. Jack Troy just gets it over. Cameron Courtney over to Koschenauer, and another one. Another spike there for RMU. Starting to find a little bit of momentum, starting to find a little bit of energy here.
Yeah, and if they're going to get back into this, this is exactly what they need. Get some high energy here, get the crowd into this.
Handwork. Set up there for CMU. Jack Troy went for the spike, can't get it to go. Blocked at the line there by McCulpin. 3 straight points now for the Colonials, starting to find their way back even.
Yeah, they're starting to put some.
There's a timeout there. Handwork was about to serve, and all of a sudden the ref said, hold up, hold up.
Yeah, CMU players were not set yet. We're not ready for that.
Courtney with a beautiful play there to set that one up. Gazdick gets it over. Karmakar trying to set someone up, goes for Troy. Oh, and it's blocked at the line by our mysterious camoed friend. I really wish he had a taped jersey number on or something. We're going to figure out who that is. Every one of these games, we have 1 or 2 of those people who are like, oh, who was that?
There's always one.
Yep. Handwork. Return by Chen. Karmakar. The Wetton and Gazdick can't quite get the return on that one.
Yeah, that one had some mustard on it.
Yeah, we didn't see it a lot early in Game 1, but toward the end of Game 1, especially here in Game 2, we've seen that Robert Wetton for CMU can really bring the power when he wants to. As Eric Jenny just shot that ball right through the little out-of-bounds pylon on the net there, so that's going to be RMU's point. Robert Morris now only a point behind. Am I right, Jordan?
Yes, indeedy. It is 12-11.
They're saying that is going to be RMU's point.
Say he hit the net.
Tie game, 12-12.
We've seen that move a lot by Karmakar here in this game. That nice little, but you think he's going to set it up, and he just taps it right over.
And it's been pretty effective so far. It's one of the few times it hasn't panned out for him. Gazdic serves it over. Over the Edwards. Courtney now. The setup, McCulpin. McCarr. To Jenny, hits it over. Handwork. To Courtney. To Sidorsky, tried hitting him with the off-speeder. Caution hour again. The pressure is on. Wetton. Oh, and Wetton gets it to go off the hands of, I think it was either McCulpin or Sidorsky. It looked like RMU was really laying on the pressure there, but Robert Wetton gets CMU out of a tough spot.
Yeah, they cleaned that up. Some great volley there by both teams.
Chen. Caution hour. Courtney. Back to caution hour. Karmakar. To Lagarde. Sorry, Legrande. I don't know where Lagarde came from. But either way, it's going to be... Oh, they're saying point RMU?
Yep, it went out.
Oh, okay. I thought it went off an RMU player.
No, it went out, no RMU players.
I was laughing too hard at mispronouncing the dude's name that I completely missed the back half of the play. RMU the serve here, and what's now a very tight game. Karmakar, the Wetton. Oh, wow. I don't think he could have placed that any better. Gazdic was down and ready for it, and somehow the ball fell about an inch short of his hands.
Yeah, right off the reach. He could feel it on his fingers, and just not enough.
So here comes Takahara to serve. Pops it up into the net.
Back to a tied game.
We've
had this going on since about double digits here.
Yeah, about to say, it's been a fun midpoint of this game so far. Both teams trading points here. A couple of fun volleys both ways. RMU with the serve. Set up here for Wetton once again. Goes with the off-speeder, but this time RMU's ready for it. Sidorsky tries to return it, but CMU's ready. Oh, and Legrande went for the fake out, expecting one of his teammates to be behind him, but no one went up with him, and that ball just kind of casually flowed away from CMU.
Yeah, and that mistake there, it gives RMU one of their first few leads they've had in this game.
Courtney. The handwork. Oh, he went for the spike. Gazdic saves it up. Courtney. Back to handwork. Tries it again. Gets it over. Hara to Karmakar. To Wetton, and he found the back corner. Tie game, 15 all. This is about the point in last game, roughly, where CMU really pulled away with it.
Yeah.
We'll have to see if that happens again here as Wetton hits it right into the net.
And once again, we have spoken it into existence.
Commentator's jinx is strong this morning. It's about as strong as the energy and the game fuel. Sidorsky. Served by Chen. Karmakar to Jenny. Oh, and Chen just couldn't quite get under it. He was in a good spot for it, but only could get one arm on the ball, and instead of hitting it up, he kind of just hit it down into the floor.
Yeah, and once again, our mystery man putting in the work.
Sidorsky for the serve. Pops it up, and that ball never had a chance. Just when you think the momentum swings, it goes right on back. Neither team can really establish much of a run here in the past couple minutes. It'll be Kevin Legrande for CMU with the serve here. Serve is up. Oh, the return from RMU went over the net on the first hit, and CMU said, all right, well, if you're going to go first hit, we'll go first hit, and just spiked it down to a big open spot in the RMU defense.
Yep, and that was because of the return of the brick wall himself, Clayton Edwards from CMU.
Lower Grande, that ball's out of bounds. And once again, just when a team starts thinking they're going to get some momentum, poof, there it goes.
I don't want to jinx this here and make it happen, but this might be one of those games that does not end in a 25-pointer.
Yep. Cameron Courtney with the serve. Gazdick pops it up. Courtney. The handwork gets through the double team. Karmakar and Edwards went up to block it, and the RMU found a way through. Just like that, we're looking at what, 19-17?
19-17. Handwork's been really putting some heat behind these balls today. And that's what they're going to need if RMU's going to pick up this game here and force a game 3.
Chen pops up to Wetton, who hits it over. Koschenauer to Courtney. Over to McCulpin, who hits it over. Chen to Karmakar. Wetton tries for the floater. Gazdick came flying in from the back corner trying to pop that one up. He got a hand on it, but not to a place where any RMU players could touch it.
Yeah, he tried his best to save it there and just about had it. I think if it would have been a little bit higher on the net, I think another guy could have gotten in there in time.
Well, here comes Samoy Karmakar for the CMU Tartans with the serve. Gazdick pops it up. Courtney over to handwork, and that ball saved by Jack Troy. Wetton over once again. RMU once again with the pop-up. Handwork again for the spike, and they're saying he hit the net.
And we are tied again.
The Colonials looked like they were finally starting to get a little bit of forward progress as far as multiple points in a row, and they've given it right back here. 19-all coming into the closing stage of game number 2. A must-win game for RMU to force a game 3. Gazdick pops it up. Courtney. Koschenauer just gets it over. Chen. The Karmakar. Oh, and it's tapped down. Karmakar was trying to set up Clayton Edwards, and instead RMU's camo man once again just said, nope.
John Cena extraordinaire. You cannot see me. Sends it right back down into the floor.
Handwork with the serve. Gets it over. Set up here for Jenny, and it was all Gazdick could do was to duck to get out of the way, and I can't say I blame him. That thing had some heat off the hand of Eric Jenny.
Yeah, there was really no way he was going to save it, and it was, well, I can either take the hit to the head or just duck and miss it.
I'd say he probably made the better choice there. At least that's the choice I would have made if I had the ability to. Jenny with the serve. Courtney. The McCulpin returned. Wetton trying to get it back, and Jenny gets it over. Oh! They thought they were going to have it over, and said it's the building itself denying them. A little divider action there, and the gym knocks that one away. Point RMU.
I was wondering if that was ever going to come into play today, and it looks like it has showed up early.
Looks like there's a conversation with the refs now on how to handle this one. I forget the precedent they set in the previous game, to be entirely honest with you.
They never hit. Nobody ever hit it in the previous game, so they haven't really had anything here. I think they're just going to allow the point here and just move on. They're going to give RMU the point on this one. As Gazdick's here for the serve. For RMU, they got a 1-point lead here.
Yeah,
21-20.
Yep. Michael Gazdick with the serve. The Chen. Jenny looking to set up Robert Wetton. Handworks there to answer. Courtney. The Sidorsky gets it through. CMU was scrambling after the play through from Sidorsky. Couldn't quite get it over. 22-20 now the score. Had a pretty decent crowd on hand for this one today.
Yeah.
People pretty steadily filing in all morning here. The CMU looks to answer. Oh, and that one just rolled off the side about 3 different Colonials' hands. They'll throw that ball over to the libero for CMU, Jonathan Chen. Hits it up. Cameron Courtney. Sidorsky was met at the line. McCulpin gets it over. Man, there was a bit of a logjam at the net there, but they found a way to keep playing. Ball's still in play here. Everyone trying to find a way to find that point, and no one was back there. I'm not sure who was supposed to cover that back corner, but RMU had 4 players forward and only 2 back.
And that one was just That was just tight. They were pressing back and forth real close with that one, right in each other's faces.
Yep. Tie game, 22-all. Courtney to Sidorsky. Oh, and he's blocked at the line. Oh, they're saying it's RMU's point. I think they were saying one of them got into the net.
They're going to say, I think they blocked it, and on the block, they sent it back out.
Oh, yeah, maybe no one touched it.
On the block, they sent it out.
Yeah.
And this is big for RMU here. It is 23-24. This is huge right here.
That's a point for RMU. They're now 1 away.
And they're going to say hit the net on that one. This could be game point here. It's going to be a timeout for CMU.
CMU waiting until about the last possible second to use their timeout in this one. But to be fair, this is probably about the first time that I would have used it if I were them too.
Yeah, I mean, the largest lead anybody's had for the last, 12 points has been 2.
Yeah, which is the deficit that the Tartans find themselves at now, 24-22. The Colonials 1 point away from forcing a decisive Game 3. We'll have to see if they can get it done here. If not, it'll be a CMU victory on the day, and then we will have to go to an intermission to get ready for CMU versus Washington and Jefferson.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we're still going to have to collect those rosters probably during the CMU warm-up in between when Washington and Jefferson has a few minutes after this game. RMU with the serve. Jenny to Wetton. Over the Jack Troy. Into the net. And RMU takes game 2, 25-22. There will be a game 3.
I'm going to leave Alex on the broadcast here for a few minutes. We are in between games. I am going to make a quick run down there and get their rosters.
Good call. Good call. So, speaking of which, while he goes on a quick break, so are we for the intermission between games 2 and game 3 of this best of 3. We'll be right back at you after this. When we are back for game 3 of this best of 3 series between the RMU Colonials and the CMU Tartans, Carnegie Mellon took game 1 by a score of 25-17 thanks to a late rally where they scored 12 out of the final 13 points. Game 2 was much more down to the wire all the way through the game, and RMU came out victorious 25-22. This will be a decisive first of 15, win by 2, to settle this best of 3. Cameron Courtney sets it up for McCulpin, and that one goes wide. It's going to be the point for CMU, 1-0 at the moment. My co-host Jordan Works is down at the moment collecting the rosters from the Washington and Jefferson players. So it'll be just me for a little bit here as Sanmoy Karmakar goes in for the serve. Popped up from RMU. Handwork trying to get it over and does. Edwards pops it up. Jenny goes for the spike and gets it to go. It looked like McCulpin had a chance for a second, but RMU couldn't quite get the handle off the block. Early 2-0 lead here for Carnegie Mellon. Here comes the serve. Gazdick to Courtney, over to McCulpin. Great shot there, and that's off the bar, and it's still in play. Handwork. Koschnauer back to Handwork, gets it over. Wild rally going on here. Wetton goes to hit it over, and it's out of play. First point of the game there for RMU. Score now 2-1. The first time that ball hit the net, it was the first time the ball hit the divider in the rec center here in game number 2. It was labeled a point for RMU as it was the third serve. However, in this one, since it was only the second hit, CMU was able to get an opportunity to hit it back over the net. Did so, and that's what led to that very chaotic rally, as RMU is going to serve that one directly into the net. 3-1 your score at the moment. CMU leads in this final game of the best of 3. Gazdick with a nice play to pop that up. McCulpin will hit it over. No, he will not. Hits the divider. Both teams now have suffered the fate of hitting the divider on their third ball once. It's going to be Eric Jenny with the serve here for CMU. Hits it over. Popped up to not really anyone. It's 5-1 at the moment, and Jordan has rejoined me up here in the booth. How'd it go?
Good, I guess. Very out of breath running back up here, but
Cameron Courtney will pop it up over to William Koschenauer. Saved by Gazdick. Courtney, the camoed man, drops it in deep. Jack Troy with the spike to the middle of nowhere. That's only a point for the Colonials. 5-2 your score at the moment. RMU can't afford to get a slow start here in game number 3 because this game does not go nearly as long as games 1 or 2. Gazdick with the serve. Gets it over. Oh, nearly caught Jenny by surprise. But they were able to get it back over. CMU point. Nine points away here from the Tartans for a match victory over the Colonials. The Colonials still looking for 13 points. As Chen with the serve. Colonials looking the rebound here as Sidorsky just powers it through the net, but it's saved by CMU. And that ball does find the back corner. Another point for the Tartans.
yeah, that's not what RMU needs right now. That back corner has been killing them all game so far.
Really has. We'll have to wonder if this keeps going when the Colonials use their timeout here in game number 3. As Chen just serves it directly into the net. Trying to see who's taking the serve here for RMU.
There's going to be mystery man number 2.
Yeah, we got to get their names. Boy, oh boy. RMU with the serve. Hits it over. Set up for CMU. Jack Troy goes for the spike and just gets it to go. Sidorsky and Koschenauer had a good opportunity to block it. Got most of it, just not enough to send it back across the net. Takahara now for CMU to serve. Gets it up. Sidorsky kind of handcuffed Chen, but he was able to get it back over. Handwork from distance gets it over. Gazdick, quite the volley going on here. Sidorsky just couldn't quite hit it off the back of his hand up over the net. There's the timeout for the Colonials. I think a very needed one. They've looked a little out of sorts here in game number 3.
Yeah, when you're down 6 here in a game that only goes to 15, a timeout might be just what you need. Give yourself a second to catch your breath here. Get together a good game plan here and see if they can turn things back around here. We saw CMU go on a burner like this before in the first game, and it's showing flashes of it possibly being like this again.
Yeah, it really is. 12 out of the final 13 points for CMU in game number 1. We'll have to see if the Colonials can do a little of the reverse action here. As, what did you say earlier, the old Uno reverse card?
Play the old Uno reverse card.
Well, they'll have to dig themselves out of quite the hole here to come back in this one. 9-3 your score at the moment here in the final game of this series. I almost said penultimate, but that would be wrong. It would be the ultimate game. Final one. Takahara still to serve for CMU. Ball is up. Oh, and Gazdick somehow found a way to catch that under his hands.
Yeah. Tough break there. He had it and just placed his hands slightly off there, and shows you what that little inch difference of hand placement can really do.
As that ball into the net, RMU will get the serve back. They're going to need a bit of a run on this attempt here.
Yeah, and it's not like RMU's offense has been hot either. Half of their points in this game has come off of CMU serving it into the net.
Yeah, it'll be William Koschenauer to serve here for the Colonials. Little acrobatic play to get that ball over the net from CMU as Sidorsky goes for the sky hook. Wetton. Courtney pops it over the handwork who gets it across. Jenny The Carmacar to LaGrande. Point CMU.
And Courtney is just heartbroken after that. They really thought he was going to come away with a point for that one.
Yeah, they I think they felt the weight of that point as well. But it will be number 6, Robert Wetton, serving for CMU here. The Tartans 4 points away from winning game 3. Is a nice little play there from the Colonials front line. Gets him a point. That's probably the best offensive move we've seen them in all of game 3 here.
Yeah, I'd have to say so. I'd have to agree with that one.
So here comes Jacob Sidorsky for the Colonials, serving it in. Oh, wow. What a spike from Eric Jenny. Just when RMU has a nice little spike, CMU answers with one of their own. Yeah,
and it seems like it's been like that all game. Every time RMU gets a point to inch themselves back into this, CMU drops another 2 or 3 on them.
William Kochenauer just can't quite get that to anyone in particular. It's not been the Colonials' best look here in game number 3, but it's not over till it's over, as the old adage says. Courtney, to Kochenauer, gets it over. Carmacar to Edwards with the spike. 1 point away now.
14-5. As the clock may be about to strike midnight on this series here for RMU.
Yeah, I mean, the only way it continues is if RMU ends up getting, 9 straight points?
They will need, yes.
Handwork gets it over. Grande kicks it out. Jenny tries to play it in. Gazdick with the dig to Courtney. Handwork with the spike, gets it to go. Well, that's 1.
Yep, and this is all you need to start right here. It could take just 1. We saw the Tartans take off 12 straight points in game 1. And if RMU can do something similar to that, they could pull away here and get the win.
Cameron Courtney with the serve in, but that one is out of play.
And they're going to say it was out.
Yeah, just missed the far sideline there. That's another point. And one thing I noticed, Cameron Courtney really hustled back to the serving strike. He can tell that RMU's got a slight bit of momentum, and he's trying to capitalize on it. And that ball well out of play. Did not touch either of the blockers for RMU. 3 straight points now, 14-7. Still quite the mountain, or 14-8, sorry. Still quite the mountain to climb, but you never know.
Get back there and go. You don't want to give CMU a chance to catch their breath here. And that'll do it.
Just another miscommunication in the Colonials defense. 15-8, your final here in game number 3. 2-1, the final series score in favor of Carnegie Mellon over Robert Morris in game 1 of this tri-match. Jordan, what's your big takeaway here from how game number 1 shaped out?
My big takeaway here is CMU just knows how to finish better than RMU, and I think that's about the best way to say it. When CMU had the chances presented to themselves, they finished and put it away. RMU had some problems here, leaving wide open spaces on the floor. The back right corner was an issue for them in all 3 games.
Yeah, that was going to be my takeaway from this one. It looked like there was a bit of a void back there. It didn't really matter even who was there. It was just fundamentally that was just a problem spot no matter who was playing that back right corner. So we'll have to see if they can get that one sorted out for when they play Washington and Jefferson in the final match of this tri-match here today. But right now we're taking a short break in between Carnegie Mellon and Washington and Jefferson, the second of our 3 matches in today's tri-match. So we're going to go to a bit of an extended intermission. We'll probably be back in, what would you say, like 10 minutes or so, Jordan?
I'd say at least 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes probably.
Yeah, so we'll take a 10-minute break, and we will see you guys in a little bit here.